Hi guys, like Dr. Clay Ballard here, and I was recently sent a video of Belen Mozo hitting a sand shot. She's an LPGA Tour golfer and a very good golfer, and she has overall really nice sand game technique. So I'm going to go over a few keys for you, and at the end of this video I'm going to attach a link to a video on the premium website that has a really easy drill that you can follow called the box drill. If you've been struggling out of the sand, this will help you get out of the sand every time. Every time I work with this with a student, in a lesson, they start hitting out of the sand right away, 2-3 minutes later, and they never have any problems with it again. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few keys that she does that helps her to play some really nice sand shots. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice is that the face is open. Her face is wide open, almost pointing straight up to the sky. This is a must if you want to hit good sand shots, and it all has to do with exposing the bounce so the club will glide through the sand instead of digging down into the sand. Now let me bring up a picture of a sand wedge. I'm going to go over exactly how this works. Alright, so here we have a picture of a wedge. Now the leading edge is where the face of the wedge and the bounce meet. So the bottom of the wedge here. So the bounce is this angle. You can see represented by this angle here. It's created by the flange here, so this big piece of metal on the bottom of the wedge, and the loft. So the degrees of bounce would be the degrees in this angle. So this would be a wedge with, kind of a moderate amount of bounce. I would say, if I just had to roughly guess, maybe 10 degrees or so. If you have more bounce, this is going to be a bigger angle, and this is going to help to keep the club from digging into the ground, or the sand in this case. So this is really, really important, because if we were to lean the shaft forward and now all of a sudden take the bounce off, so if this shaft was leaning forward this way and now this leading edge is leading the way, it's going to be just like a knife. As soon as it hits the ground, this leading edge is going to catch and it's going to drag the club down into the ground. So it's important to open the club to get more loft and to also create a lot more bounce. So let me show you a wedge that's open at address, and I'm going to show you what this does to the bounce of a club and how this makes it much more forgiving. Alright, so now we have a wedge here that's opened up facing the sky. This is about how much you'd want to open a standard sand shot. So it's going to create loft, help it get a little higher launch, so it's going to stop easier on the green, plus it's going to expose this bounce. So now you can see there's a big margin. This is probably effectively 45 degrees of bounce on the club now, and this leading edge is way off the ground or way out of the sand. Now this piece of metal, this flange here, is going to act kind of like a rudder. So it's going to skip through the sand and it's going to glide through it very, very shallow now. So this leading edge isn't going to dig and cause the wedge to go down into the sand very deeply. It's going to allow the club to scoot through the sand so that you can get a very shallow angle of attack and get about 8 or 10 inches of skid as you hit a sand shot. If you expose the leading edge, you lean the shaft forward, as I see a lot of people doing, this leading edge is going to catch, that club's going to shoot straight down in the sand, and you have to be absolutely perfect to get a good shot. Alright, so now we can see she's doing this perfectly. Face is pointing directly up to the sky. Now the second key I want you to focus in on is notice how long her swing is. She's got a good full swing here. Most students, they don't play enough loft first, and then they have to swing really short and really slow, or they're going to hit it way too far. Go ahead and take a nice big swing. That way you can be aggressive through this shot and really hit the sand with some force. The more timid you are, the more likely you're going to be to chunk or scull the shot and hit a very poor shot. So go ahead and be quite aggressive with this. The last key is that I don't want to try to hit behind the ball, or I don't want to try to hit definitely don't want to try to hit the ball first. I definitely want to hit I want the club to enter the sand behind the ball, but the best key is to think about hitting underneath the ball. So imagine swinging your club directly underneath the ball, like I was going to take out this X and let the club slide underneath and pop the ball up. So you really don't even want to contact the ball at all when you're hitting a sand shot. It will a little bit, but that shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be just to swing right underneath this, almost if there was another ball right underneath that you wanted to make contact with. Anywhere between probably 5-6 inches behind the ball and 1 or 2 inches behind the ball. If you make contact first with the sand in this little zone, you're going to hit a good shot. So there's a really big margin for error in the sand, and that's why pros love to hit out of the sand. There's a pretty big margin for error. It's going to be easy to hit the type of shot that you're looking for. So let's go ahead and watch hers frame by frame here, and you can see the mark where she first entered the sand is right here, probably 3-4 inches behind the ball, and then she swings right on through very aggressively. You can see that club just glides through the sand right underneath the ball, and then the ball pops up on top. So we're not trying to hit the ball first, we're trying to swing directly underneath the ball. Look at the face of the club now, it's pointing straight up to the sky, 90 degrees of loft on this thing. That's going to help it to loft very high into the air and stop very nice and soft on the green. So this is perfect technique. So again, open the face at address. Make sure you take a big wide swing. Don't be scared to take a big wide swing and a big long swing and get some real club head speed and to hit that sand aggressively. And then lastly, try to swing the club under the ball. We're not trying to hit the golf ball, we're trying to swing directly under it. And if you do these things, you're going to have a great sand game just like Belen Mozo. Okay, so now I want you to click on the box on the right side of your screen here. That's a link that's going to take you to the box drill for sand shots. And as I mentioned, this is super easy. And once you do this drill, it's going to show you a great way that you can practice. You'll get out of the sand every time, no problems at all. If you're on a mobile device, you're going to need to click this link in the description below, since the annotation will not show up on your screen. I look forward to seeing you guys much more in the future. Good luck with your golf game, and good luck with those sand shots. Now it's time to take action. Don't let another year pass and still be frustrated with your golf game. This is your year to beat all of your friends. Go to the description below and click the link to sign up for your free membership. It will never cost you a dime, and you'll receive over 2.5 hours of detailed, eye-opening video lessons. Plus, you will be able to see the remainder of this video, only available if you click the link on this particular video. Be the first of your friends to join our 40,000 plus free members. We look forward to having you on our team.